Welcome back, Stoics. Have you ever opened your eyes and felt like the world was already trying to break you before your feet even touched the ground? Like your soul was already weary, carrying the weight of pressure, expectations, fake smiles, and loud thoughts crashing down without a sound. You just lie there, frozen, eyes locked on the ceiling, dreading a day that hasn't even started. I've been there. I know that feeling well. That quiet kind of war inside your chest, the type that doesn't shout, but slowly suffocates. That's when Stoicism found me. Not as some poetic ideal, but as a final defense line, a tool to fight back, to take my energy from the things draining it. Not a cute mantra, not a wise quote, but a full declaration of war against the chaos I'd let live rent-free in my head. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not just a quote, it's a reminder. A man who led armies through storms inside and out said that. It means you stop bleeding energy into the things that haven't earned it. You stop handing your peace away like it's disposable. This isn't about pretending life is simple. It's about standing unshaken right in the fire. It's about rising even when everything around you says to fall. Today isn't a feel-good lesson. It's a reckoning. You're about to remember who you really are. We're not strolling through 5 friendly tips. We're charging straight through 5 brutal truths that'll force your power back into your own hands, each one layered with Stoic steel, real-world scars, and raw flame. These aren't soft words. They're fuel. This is not for the weak. This is for those who are tired of being tired, tired of being pulled apart, tired of waking up feeling like there's nothing left in the tank. You're not broken, you're just drained, and we're about to flip that script. Before we begin, I want you to do one thing with intent. Not lazily, not like it's just another. I want you to hit that like button, like you're slamming your fist into the dirt and refusing to stay down. Drop a comment below. I am the master of my energy. Say it like you mean it. Share this with someone hiding behind a strong face but crumbling inside. And subscribe, because what's coming next isn't content. It's fire. Direct to your nervous system. Now close your eyes, take a deep breath. You're standing at the edge of something far greater than comfort. The storm is behind you, and the road ahead is wild, untamed, but it's yours. You feel it, don't you? In your gut, it's time. Let's begin. Number 1, cut off the leaks. Energy isn't stolen, it leaks. Your strength doesn't vanish in some explosive moment. It doesn't get taken in broad daylight by an obvious villain. It fades quietly, drop by drop, in moments so small you barely notice, until suddenly you're on your knees, hollowed out, wondering how your fire turned cold. You didn't lose your power. You gave it away, little by little, in those silent leaks, every time you chose to stay quiet instead of speaking your truth, every time you reached for comfort instead of clarity, every time you drowned out your soul with noise instead of honoring its signal. You don't collapse from a knockout blow, you fall from 1,000 ignored instincts. That message you knew you shouldn't answer. That space you walked into when your gut said not to. That person you clung to, even though your spirit begged you to let go. You said yes with clenched teeth. You stayed still while your soul screamed to run. And that's the price. You betray yourself to keep a false sense of peace, and then wonder why your spirit won't calm down. It's rarely people who break you. It's what they take from you, slowly. Their chaos becomes your burden. They don't ask how you are. They just keep pulling, draining, expecting. And the worst part, you let them. You gave them the key. You pointed to your soft spots, and they smiled while they kept cutting, calling it love. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your judgment about it, and it is in your pout, that judgment." That's not just theory, that's raw, bleeding truth. It means this: you're suffering not because of what's out there, but because of what you keep letting in. You keep placing value on what deserves none. You allow opinions to define your worth. You're not broken. You're overstretched. You're not lost. You're drowning in noise. Your spirit's not shattered. It's suffocating under the weight of all the times you ignored your inner no. These leaks, they exist not because you're weak, but because you haven't sealed the doors. You've left access open to people, habits, and chaos that should have been cut off long ago, so shut them. Ruthlessly, silently, let the doors slam. Let the silence stretch. Let your absence speak. You don't owe anyone a farewell. Just leave. You don't need to send one last message. Your silence will echo louder than any words. You are not a well for the ungrateful. You are not a battery for people who never charge themselves. You are not a crutch for those who refuse to stand. You are fire. You are forged steel. You are sacred ground, and not everyone deserves access to you. Cut off the leaks. Not tomorrow. Not gently. Now. Because every ounce of energy you waste on the wrong people is stolen from the version of you that you're still becoming. Number 2. Your attention is your kingdom. Guard it with teeth. Whatever you give your attention to, you're giving your life to. That's the truth, stripped bare. Every second you spend staring at something meaningless, arguing with someone who doesn't matter, or replaying thoughts that don't serve you, you're giving out rent-free space in your head, and they're squatting on your throne. It's not just time you're losing, it's your crown, your clarity, your command. In a world starving for purpose, your attention is gold. And if you hand it out like cheap candy, don't be shocked when you feel drained, aimless, and disconnected from the life you're supposed to be building. You don't lose focus all at once. It doesn't get ripped away in one blow. It chips. Notification by notification, drama by drama, scroll by endless scroll. 1 minute you're thinking about your future, and the next you're buried in an argument between strangers on the internet. 1 second you're fully present in your body, and then suddenly you're a ghost, lost in other people's noise. You drift, you disconnect, and you wonder why anxiety creeps in, why you're always tired, why your goals slip right through your fingers like smoke. Your mind is no longer yours. It's been hijacked. Not by some shadowy villain, but by the slow, consistent poison of wasted focus. You're not broken, you're just bleeding out through your own attention. Seneca once wrote, "There is nothing the busy man is less busy with than living." And that's the dagger. That's the hard truth. You can spend your entire life doing everything except actually living. Living with intention, breathing with awareness, building your vision with precision, protecting your mind like it's the last weapon you've got left, because it is. You don't owe your attention to every buzz, every message, every trend, or every made-up crisis that lands on your screen. You don't have to keep up. You don't have to be reachable 24/7. You don't have to respond. The more you turn inward, the sharper things become. What they call missing out, you'll start calling freedom. What they label as rude, you'll begin to see as peace. So lock the gates, draw the lines. If it doesn't build you, it's breaking you. If it doesn't lift your vision, it's lowering your standard. Every glance, every scroll, every swipe, it stacks. One careless tap, and you're off track. One conversation with the wrong person, and you're doubting yourself again. Attention is energy. And energy is everything. So guard it with teeth. If you have to, rip it back. Turn off your phone and feel no guilt. Leave people on read and feel no shame. Let them talk while you build. In silence. Your future isn't built by being liked, it's built by being locked in, obsessed, laser-focused, like your life depends on it. Because it does. They want your attention because it's power. The more they take, the less you have. Every algorithm is crafted to keep you chasing. Every platform is made to keep you scrolling. But you weren't born to be fed crumbs by machines. You weren't built to be distracted to death. You were made for war. And focus is your sword. Your attention is your kingdom. And you're either the ruthless king guarding it or the servant handing out keys. Choose wisely. Number 3. Stop explaining yourself. Your energy isn't a negotiation. There comes a point where you have to stop cutting yourself into smaller pieces just to fit inside the minds of people who already decided not to hear you. You weren't born to be a press release. You weren't put on this earth to be dissected, second-guessed, or forced to justify every move you make. Every time you choose peace over performance, let them talk. Let them misread you. Let them twist your silence into something it's not. You weren't built to babysit other people's opinions. Each time you explain yourself to someone who's already decided not to respect you, you drain. You leak energy. It seeps out in every, "well, I just thought," and every "I only did that because." You give away your power every time you try to defend why you walked away, why you didn't text back, why your energy didn't match their dysfunction. You're not rude. You're not cold. You're not arrogant. You're clear. And clarity terrifies people who survive on confusion. You don't owe anyone your reasons for protecting your soul. You don't have to hand over explanations like receipts every time you enforce a boundary. If your silence rattles them, it's because it echoes louder than your words ever could. People with real self-respect don't chase validation. They don't beg to be understood. They move quietly, consistently, with or without approval, and they let the results speak. Epictetus laid it out with sharp simplicity. If someone speaks ill of you, do not defend yourself. Simply reply, he was unaware of the rest of my flaws, or he would have said more. That's not just confidence, that's command. That's the kind of self-possession that turns other people's noise into background static. You don't need to shrink to make others comfortable. You don't need to translate truth into a language for people fluent in lies. Let them choke on their assumptions. You've got empires to build. The more you explain, the more power you hand away. The more you argue, the more you scatter your energy across battlefields that were never yours to fight. And let's be real, the ones demanding the most explanation, they never intended to believe you anyway. They weren't listening, they were gathering ammo. So stop handing them bullets. Start walking, silent, calm, unmoved. Let your distance say everything your words never will. Let your absence carry more weight than any excuse ever could. The moment you stop explaining, that's the moment you start reclaiming your energy, your peace, your power. If your presence makes people question you, let your absence teach them everything they refuse to learn. If they challenge your boundaries, enforce them. No blinking, no apologies, just motion. You're not a debate. You're not an option. You're not customer support for your own soul. You weren't meant to break yourself into bite-sized pieces for people who refuse to digest the full version of you. Let them chew on the silence. Let them sit in the weight of your non-response. Let them wonder where you went, and never give them the answer. Your energy isn't a negotiation, it's a declaration. And once you make peace with being misunderstood, you become untouchable. Number 4, master your mornings. That's where your energy is forged. The fight for your life doesn't erupt in the chaos. It doesn't begin when the noise gets loud or the world starts closing in. It begins in the silence, before your first thought, before your first word, before anyone else even knows you're awake. Your morning isn't just a routine, it's the forge, it's the battleground. It's the place where your mindset is molded, your discipline is shaped, and your fire is lit, or left to flicker out. You don't stumble into strength. You don't accidentally become unshakable. You build it, you earn it, and it starts the moment your eyes open. If the first thing you do is reach for your phone, you've already surrendered. You've handed over the reins before your feet even touch the ground. You let strangers into your mind. You let headlines choose your emotional weather. You let the static of the world drown out the calm you were meant to command. You can't end your day when you started like a follower, scrolling, reacting, absorbing chaos. Your mind wasn't made for distraction. It was made for clarity. And your power? It comes from the moments when no one's watching. It comes from how you breathe in the stillness, from how you sit alone with yourself and confront the thoughts you've been avoiding, from how you move with precision while the world is still asleep. Morning is where you plant your flag. It's where you declare, today I lead, today I choose, today I rise, not my cravings, not my past, not my mood, me. And that choice, the one made in the quiet before the day begins, it becomes your armor. The Stoics understood this. Discipline wasn't a motivational word for them. It was sacred. It was strategy. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every single morning, when you arise, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Not from sweetness, from strength. Because the man who commands his morning doesn't just survive the day, he shapes it. Storms don't shake him, people don't rattle him. Because before the noise, he was sharpening his edge in silence. If you wake up late, skip the grounding and jump into the world like it owns you, don't be shocked when it chews you up and spits you out. You're not grounded. You're scattered. And scattered men don't lead, they chase, they react, they crumble. You want clarity? Earn it. Sit in stillness. Move your body. Write. Reflect. Breathe with intention. This isn't a cute trend. It's survival in a world designed to pull you apart. Your morning is sacred ground, the one time of day untouched by noise. Guard it like a wolf guards its den. Carve out that space. Build your mindset before anyone tries to break it. Move with purpose before the weight of the day drops on you. Breathe deep before the chaos even knows you're awake. This isn't luxury, it's required. If you plan to lead with fire, you don't need some fancy 5-hour ritual. You need something non-negotiable, something you own, something that strengthens your spine before the world tries to bend it. So wake up early, wake up focused, wake up like a man who knows there's inner work to do before he faces anything or anyone else. Because if you don't take command of your morning, the world will. And the world? It doesn't care about your peace. It wants your focus, your energy, your soul. So take it back. Your power is built long before breakfast. Not in meetings, not in the gym, not out in the open. In the stillness. In the fire you ignite before the day even knows your name. Number 5. Stop giving first-class energy to economy people. You're running yourself into the ground, bleeding out your brilliance into hands that treat it like spare change. Day after day, you show up with fire in your chest for people who are made of ash, and all they do is extinguish it. You keep handing out peace to people who only know how to poison it. You keep offering loyalty to people who would walk right past you if you were drowning. And deep down, you know it's killing you. Not because of the workload, not because of the hustle, but because the very people you're breaking yourself for can't even be bothered to appreciate the pieces. You give your clearest hours, your sharpest thoughts, your deepest emotions to people who would never bleed for you the way you've bled for them. You explain yourself to cowards. You beg for basic respect from the emotionally bankrupt. You're trying to build cathedrals with people who only bring demolition tools, and it's eating away at your soul. You were not built to offer discounts. Your energy isn't a vending machine for whoever feels entitled to push a button. Your time is not up for grabs. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That means let them misunderstand you. Let them call you cold. Let them sit in your silence and suffocate in the space where you used to give. Because the truth is, protecting your energy will always offend the ones who are feeding off it. You're not their savior. You're not their emotional crutch. You're not their late-night lifeline or their personal punching bag wrapped in politeness. You've been saying yes to the wrong people for too long, and every time you do, you say no to yourself. Your peace, your vision, your sanity. You're not helping, you're enabling. You're feeding a cycle that breaks you a little more every time you hold your tongue, bite back your truth, or give when you have nothing left. It's time to burn that bridge. Not for drama, not for revenge, but for rebirth. You don't owe them a speech. No farewell text, no dramatic exit, just silence and a locked door. Because if someone has drained you over and over again, they don't deserve closure. They deserve distance, and the kind that echoes. You weren't made to water dead plants. You weren't created to be drained dry by people who mistake your kindness for a free pass to feed off your light. Start investing in people who invest right back. Start guarding your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. The wrong people won't just waste your time, they'll erode your confidence, derail your goals, and leave your spirit bleeding out in silence. So take inventory. Who are you feeding? Who's eating at your table? Who are you texting back at 2 a.m., sacrificing sleep and sanity for? And ask yourself this, would they bleed for you the way you've bled for them? Or would they step over your broken body like you were never even there? Your energy is sacred. It's holy ground. Not everyone gets access, and the more you hand it to the undeserving, the more you train them to believe your soul is disposable. So stop giving first-class fire to people who are barely flying standby in your life. Let them miss the flight, and never let them board again. The final reminder: if you've made it this far, then feel this in your bones. Your energy is your most dangerous weapon. It's the secret ingredient to everything you want. Forget watching the clock. You don't need more hours. You need more power. And power comes from energy. Focused, protected, and unapologetically yours. This transformation doesn't come from some app or hack or planner. It starts with what you allow, what you say yes to, what you finally start saying no to. Cut the noise. Silence the leeches. Drop the habits that drain you. Say no to the ones who only take. Say no to the patterns that keep you stuck. Say no to everything that doesn't honor your higher self. Protect your peace like it's your last breath, because without it, the world will drown you in its noise. And once your energy is clean, you start seeing clearly. You start deciding sharper. You walk into rooms and the atmosphere shifts, not because you're loud, but because you stop giving the mic away. To anyone who ever tried to dim you, they fall silent, not because they've changed, but because you have. And always remember, your energy is not cheap, so stop giving out discounts. Always remember, your energy is not cheap, so stop giving out discounts. Stay grounded, stay powerful, stay stoic. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.